And joining us now, Sarah Parshall-Perry, legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Sarah, welcome. Great to have you with us this Friday. Take
Thank
us
you.
a little bit deeper here. What does it mean that the Supreme Court blocked this vaccine mandate for larger businesses?
It's incredibly significant here. The court used its emergency docket, the shadow docket, to actually make a very significant ruling, pinning back the ears of the Biden administration on what has been a consistent bureaucratic overreach on the executive's attempts here. And this was now 2 for 2 on their losses. They also lost on the CDC eviction moratorium. The court there in the Alabama Realtors Association case just a few months ago said the same thing. It is beyond the scope of that executive agency's power to issue that kind of a regulation, whether or not there is a pandemic involved. And here with OSHA, they said that that statute does not give OSHA the authority or power to issue a vaccine mandate and affect the personal health of 84 million Americans. It was very significant.
Yeah, Gorsuch saying it's up to states and Congress. A lot of these companies have been going out on their own to require vaccines for their employees. Sarah, do you think that we'll see that change now with this ruling?
Well, in fact, I do think that the OSHA mandate itself was in large part sort of a sword of Damocles hanging over the head of each of the states and the employers who were afraid of suffering crippling fines. So many of them actually went ahead and instituted their own vaccine mandates for their own private staff. So I think now we're going to see power returned to the states where it belongs, particularly on the nature of public health and safety as relegated under the 10th Amendment to the states appropriately. And I think we're going to see states and private employers respond the way they see fit and make their own determinations on what's best for their employees and citizens.
At the same time, the Supreme Court notably ruled in favor of vaccine mandates for healthcare workers. How is that different?
Well, here the court was tasked with determining whether or not the Medicare and Medicaid Act gave the power to the secretary to make determinations related to administering those funds. And because those funds are administered at hospitals and nursing home facilities where most of the individuals are either elderly, infirmed, or immunocompromised, the court in a 5-4 victory for the mandate determined that there was enough of a nexus there, that was related to the public health power of the secretary at HHS. So Justice Thomas, in a fiery dissent that was joined by Justices Gorsuch, Barrett, and Alito, said this is again upending the state-federal balance under the 10th Amendment. We're still going back to vaccine power that shouldn't belong with the federal government, but it should belong with the states, and we are inclined to agree with them.
The Marine Corps this week granted the U.S. military's first ever religious exemptions for the COVID-19 vaccine. Sarah, final question. Do you think we'll see more of this?
I think we're going to have to. Otherwise, we're going to see a flood of lawsuits. We've already seen a victory in achieving those exemptions from the Marine Corps and a victory coming out of the federal court down in the Northern District of Texas for 35 Navy SEALs who themselves were also victorious in a federal court and getting their own religious exemptions to the vaccine. I think we're going to see the Biden administration have to admit the fact that if you gain medical and administrative exemptions, you also have to grant religious liberty exemptions. That's part of how the system of constitutional government works.
Sarah Parshall-Perry with the Heritage Foundation, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.